What's going on, guys? It's J Money, and as we've all been waiting for the new updated deck profile for World Chalice, this new build is not set in stone, so keep that in mind. I still need quite a few more days to test to make sure I have the most optimal build still, but I did cut a lot of cards, so the build itself is quite different. Well, for starters, I'm going to go over the cards I cut. I ended up cutting these because I'm using much less vanillas now, and I'm using a little bit less bricks. I cut one back in because Emerald is now gone, and so we don't really need the extra brick just for the draw 2 anymore. We still need one because we still want to make Nat Beast. I did cut out the recovers and the emergency teleport for reasons I'll go into later. I could still make Nat Beast just the same, more or less. I did cut one terraforming, and I cut one Christia. Since Emerald is gone, these combos aren't going to be as easy to make, so I needed more extending plays. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I want to start by reiterating that, again, this build is not set in stone. It's not set in stone, and it is liable to change at some point, and so keep that in mind. 3 legacies, again, best card in the deck. You can't really do much without them. And so, yeah, there's that. Second best card in the deck, again, to get to the best card in the deck. Lee is a little bit more important now that Emerald's gone. For the Ningirsus, a lot of times now you're going to get the draw 2s rather than draw 3s if you're not drawing Brilliant Fusion or Soul Charge. So 2 Guard Dragons still. It's still very needed. It's a target for World Chalices, and you're going to need to keep it in hand a lot more now, because your boards aren't going to be as super broken. I mean, you can still make them super broken, but it's not going to be like ultra consistent anymore because Emerald is now gone. Venus still, because still the best extender in the deck. It just gets you an instant 4. With this, you're going to end up sacking off Venus a lot more for the links. You're going to end up making Firewall a little bit earlier now, depending on what you're playing. I mean, I've found myself making Firewall a lot earlier now, to keep my combos going. So there's that. Again, best brick. You got your one back in. You're still an Earth target for Nat Beast. It's still World Chalice target. It's still vanilla to go into your Link Spider and your Imduke. Other best brick because it just extends. You still need 3. There's no debating it. I still need to get Obsidian. Nobody really has it, but yeah. So on to some changes. 3 Gofus because we need as many many ways to get monsters on the board as humanly possible. Because of Emeralds being gone, we need to just find a way to just flood the field so we can still make our Ningirsu, still get our draw 3, without using using as minimal resources as possible. 2 Exodius. Arguably, you want to bump this up to 3, but I have found another substitution for Emerald, as I've told some of you in the comments below. For those of you who haven't, I'll end up letting you know once I get to it. So on to some more serious changes. We got 2 Rescue Ferret. I don't want 3. 2 is pretty good. I mean, first of all, I don't own 3. 2 is, you'll draw into it relatively decent opening hand if you open it, but oftentimes, more times than not in this deck, anything that you're playing 2 of, you're likely to draw into off of Ningirsu, and that's what you want. And if you don't, you can dump it for Foolish Burial. And I've also find myself sending this to the grave a lot for Lee so I can revive it and do more stupid combos. Dandelion, Glow Up Bulb, more Rescue Ferret targets. I'll summon these 2 a lot with a Lee, if I don't have it, or a lot of times if I do have it, I'll still summon it anyway, because I mean, there's really no other level 2s I'm playing. I could play Chosen, but I'm decided to cut the vanillas down a little bit. So anyway, when a lot of times you want to have a ROM up at the top and make Firewall here now in the middle rather than there most of the time. And so most of the time when you're doing mid combo, and let's say a ROM's here, Nigris is here, Ibs here, and Ibs here, a lot of times I will discard the Ferret for to grab lead back. And then I'll use a ROM and tribute this Ib over here to summon Ferret in this zone. Link these two in a Firewall, shuffle, summon these two in 3, and I have another extra deck spot used for these two. So stay tuned for that. Also, if I did draw into Gloat Bulb or Dandelion, Sangan is another card I teched into the deck to summon. Simply so I can just search Maxi. So Maxi is now my main deck. Let's see, win conditions. Christia is still going to be played at multiples. I'm not seeing him quite as often anymore, unfortunately. So, you know, I want him up into 3. I might just throw the secret back in. I just want to match rarities, but the secrets I find I access a little bit more, so I'll end up throwing that one in. Okay, True Dracos is still going to be a deck. I'm telling you now, it's going to be Master Beast Turbo, so you're going to see it a lot more now. You're going to see it, them summon it turn 1 if they go first, which is good for you, so because now you don't have to, even if you had this, a lot of times they still had Dynamite bringing out the traps. You didn't have Master Beast on the board to sack over immediately, but now, with the deck being hurt and them being forced to summon Masterpiece turn 1, number 1, Gamma Seal can sack over the Masterpiece now, and 2, now Masterpiece, I've seen gameplays with the True Dracos, and now a lot more times than not, it's no longer going to be immune to monster effects because they have so few monsters. So oftentimes they are tributing over a spell and a trap, so keep that in mind. Even if you don't have this, Masterpiece now will start being more immune to monster effects now. So that is a win for us, World Chalice players. Still play 2 Waterfront because, again, you want the win condition. I have not been seeing this as much, even by drawing off Ninger, so I don't really see it all that much anymore. But it's still there. I still see it sometimes, and it's okay. 3 Brilliance because it's Brilliant Fusion. Come on. I mean, it's even, actually, Brilliant Fusion is even more viable now. It's even more important that we don't have Emerald, because Seraphonite is, one, going to put a body on board like Emerald was. Emerald was a body, so it was just an instant access to Ibs, so you didn't have to bridge, for 1. And 2, you need the Lazuli to get your Shine Ball back because you need the extra monster. So, Transmodify still at 3 to get to the Venus. Venus is a little bit more important. Soul Charge still because that got more important. And it's still kind of a blowout. Foolish Barrel, you have more targets that you want to send now. So that's good. And the last 2 cards of the deck are going to be Tri-Whites. So if you don't want to change your build, but you just need a substitution for Emerald, just play these. Again, those who don't know what they do, let's see. Target 3 level 2 or lower normal monsters in grave, special them. I was thinking about just cutting Beckon all together and playing 3 Crown, because Crown is very live with Tri-White. But, shoot, but yeah, there's that, and yeah, so it's more or less the same as Emerald, except you're not getting the draw 1. You're getting an instant 3. It's literally a triple reborn for this Shine Ball, so that's good. Extra deck, Link Spiders, and 2 M-Dukes, because you still only need 2, 1 for bridge, 1 for extra tribute. 3 is okay if you can fit it, but I have other things that I end up playing. 3 Ib, because she's still really good. She's actually more important now. 2 proxy still, because now with Gofu you need to bridge these tokens. Use 2 tokens to make proxy, and use the proxy and the Gofu to make decode. It's still relatively good. Rom, a lot more important now. Now I'm actually using his effect a whole lot more. I used to almost never have to use his effect unless I absolutely had to. But I'm using his effect almost every game, which makes Ghost Ogre a little bit more dangerous against me. Ghost Ogre really wasn't a problem against me because I wasn't really using a ROM like that, but yeah. Ningirsu, you still really only need 1. I would play multiple firewalls if I don't have space for it. Decode, you still need to decode because True Dracos is still in the still going to be in the game. Firewall, I don't have space for a second one, but really all you need is 1 anyway. Especially now with all the new cards I added in. The non-link Seraphinite, Naturia Beast still, and Herald of Arclight. Herald of Arclight is going to add an additional negate. Yeah, it's going to add an additional negate now. You sync the Dandelion and the Glow Bulb, make this. Firewall's going to trigger most of the time. You summon 2 tokens off Dandelion, use those 2 tokens, make proxy next to Firewall, and you're going to use Firewall to bounce your beckon to the hand. You're going to have to do that a little bit more. And then you're going to end up linking linking whatever is on the board that's not this. You can link proxy if you want and make another card, maybe like an Ib, next to Firewall, so Firewall contribute to summon beckon, and Glow Bulb can toss a card to the grave to special itself, and then you make your Nat Beast. So if you resolve Rescue Ferret, you're going to have these 2 more or less no matter what. If Rescue Ferret gets resolved, you're going to be able to make these 2 synchros. I've done it every time I resolve Rescue Ferret. That's how it's done. So side deck, I'm still working on it. Now I did add a couple cards to the side deck. Now, however, I did add 2 Drone Lockbirds. I'm thinking about adding a 3rd one, because every deck now is going to be searching a lot more, and not only that, but Double Helix is right around the corner. For those who are struggling against the deck, Lockbird is a very, very good card against Spirals, simply for the fact that they can't +9 or +11 anymore. All the quick fixes are more or less useless. I mean, yeah, you can keep recurring from the grave to keep making links, but you're not searching 5 to 6 times a quick fix. You're not searching with Master Plan. You're not searching with the field spell. You're not searching with the field spell, and so Lockbird will be added to the side deck. It should be mained, to be honest. I mean, I think I'm gonna try and find space to main at least 1. Because if I go first, often times than not, it's either I'm going to add Max C off Sangan or I'm going to add Lockbird. But once Spirals hit, I'm probably just going to add Lockbird. So yeah, I'm still working on the side deck because the format has changed. So next video will be some combos featuring this deck here, and what new things it can do, and what other ways you can play and play around the meta. So again, thank you guys for being patient. I know a lot of you guys really wanted to know what's to become of World Chalice now the Emerald's gone. Fear not. Again, Tri-White is definitely an option. You can also throw in some Dark Factories if you want to keep your Shine Balls going. That's also another option. So there are options out there, and so don't fret. It's not the end of the world. I would play Rescue Rabbits now that it's at 3, but I'm not really playing that many vanillas. And so it's just like Gofu is still better in a sense. So thank you guys for watching. This is going to be a long ride, and peace.